to talk about the line of best fit. A line of best fit is only going to be possible if you have linear. And then we are most likely to have linear than the others. That's what we're saying. Okay? We are most likely to have linear than the others. So as soon as we have a linear trend, then we expect to have a line of best fit. Okay. How then do we have this thing of line of best fit? We need to go back to a little bit of grade 11. Who grade 11? Yeah. Who grade 11, we spoke about something called a mean. No? And then how did we calculate the mean? Mean is average. Okay? Yeah, because we could calculate the average, then we can draw this thing here, which is called a line of best fit. How do we draw it? It has these important characteristics. In grade 11, when we draw it, it doesn't matter. We're simply just going to draw a line. It doesn't have to fit all the points, but what is important is that it has to pass through. You just have to make sure which the distance between the points is not far. So you just draw a straight line in between. If you're in grade 11, they say draw a line of best fit. You can just draw it. It doesn't have to lie straight on the points. It can be something like this. So a line of best fit where to grade 11, they can differ. For grade 12, they are more strict. They can't differ. We have a way in which we are going to do it. How do we do it? It passes through what we call a mean point. So we can have a mean for X. We can also have a mean for Y. So how do we get the mean for X and mean for Y? We need to go back to grade 11. Let's go back to our calculators again. If we go back to our calculators, we're going to put our calculator on a stats mode. Okay, we go to stats. On an stats, now we're going to, instead of pressing, we can press 1. We could do it for like 1 by 1. We can do the speed and then we can do the distance. But because we're in grade 12, it makes sense for us to use number 2, option number 2. When option number 2, look at what we're going to have. We're going to have X and Y. What is the difference between what we've been having so far? Now we know how to have X and frequency. Okay? This one is not X and frequency, it's X and what and Y. So what am I going to put here on X? I'm going to put everything on X. Let's come and check here. X, it's 100 and it's 20, it's 40, it's 60, it's 120, 140, and so on. Okay? So let's put in those values there. I'm going to say I have 20 equals to 40 equals to 60 equals to 80 equals to 100 equals to 120 equals to, yes. I'm putting, this is X. This is X is to Y. Usually the way they're going to give it to us, like the way they follow each other, it's X, it goes with Y. 140. Okay, after that, as soon as you're done, yes, I agree with you. I started with X. I didn't go X and Y. I started with X, I'm done with X, and then I press this downward arrow. And then after going to this downward arrow, it takes me back to the top. And then I press this arrow to go to the Y side. And then after that, I'm going to say, okay, I have 6 equals to, and then we have 16 equals to, we have 30 equals to, we have 48 equals to, we have 70 equals to, we have 80 equals to, we have 110 equals to. So now you check what do they balance. And then as soon as they balance, then you can store your data. How do you store your data? Okay, we press AC. Okay. After pressing AC, then we're going to have shift. Now look at the following. Look at the following. We have shift 1 again. Now, where did we get our mean? We got our mean from 4. Now look at what's happening now. Instead, before we used to only have X. Now look at the following. You have E mean yaga X. And then you also have E mean yaga Y. This one, it's X with the power on top again. That is the X mean. Check your calculator if it has that. So if you want to get the X mean, you're going to press 2. Okay, you're going to say 2 equals 2. Then you have 8. You put which this thing here is going to be 8. What else? You're also going to have the Y mean. Press AC again, shift 1. 4. What am I going to press now? It's 5. And then you can have the standard deviation for X, you can have the standard deviation for Y. Nothing has changed. So what is the standard deviation? 51,43, okay, which can be 51. Okay, when we draw our line of best fit now, we are going to put this with a different color. This thing here, it needs to pass through this point. Our line of best, it's 40. And then this is 44. And then it's 48, yeah. And then this one, it's 52. Yeah, so we can put it somewhere around here. So it needs to pass through this point here. For us to draw a perfect line of best fit for grade 12, we need to know the equation of the line. Okay, let me couple this two then. Let me do this. It's going to be a little bit of a... So what are we doing? We are drawing, okay? And then after drawing the regression line, I'm also going to go to example number 3. On example number 3, I wanted us to determine the equation of the regression line. I should have done it like vice versa. I should have started by giving you the equation first and then draw the line, because we need to know how to get the equation. Okay, how do we get this equation? I'm still using exactly the same data. Since we're using exactly the same data, we've stored the data. Now remember, what does our equation have? We said our equation is going to have the following. Look at the following. It is a straight line. Since it's a straight line, we spoke about which our equation should have A, it should have B. And then there's this Carey's formula that we use to get B, which we don't use. So which one are we going to use then? If we can't use that one, which one are we going to use? We say Y is going to be equal to B plus AX. It's A plus BX. So it's A plus BX. Okay. So now, before we draw our line of best fit, let's determine the equation. For you to determine the equation, you need to know what is A, you need to know what is B. Where do you get A and B? You're still going to get them on your calculator, except you're going to use, instead of using 4, I agree we've been using 4 in grade 11. We're no longer going to use 4. We're going to say shift and then 1. 4, it's grade 11. Now we're going to jump to grade 12, which is 5. And then you can clearly see what you see there. You see A. You also see what? B. And then you simply press 1. What is our A? It says which minus 17, 14. We're still fine. Okay, what is our P? AC again. Shift 1 and then we press 5. 0. Our P is 0.86. Therefore, what is going to be our equation? Our equation is going to say we have minus 17.14 plus our P is 0.86x, like this again. Now, as soon as you have this equation, then you should be able to draw a perfect line of best fit. Now, perfect line of best fit, I am going to use any value here. For example, here we can say which we don't have negatives here. So I just need any 2 points. I just need any 2 points. I'm going to take any other point which is not here. Any other point which is not here. I could have already used 20, I've used 14. I can take a point after the mean point. I can take the point before the mean point. So which point am I going to take? I can take, for example, I can come and take this one here, 10. Okay? I can tell them which when X is 10, I want to know what is going to be Y. Or if I don't use that one, I can use 13. How do I get that one? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say Y is going to be equal to minus 17.4 plus 0.86 multiplied by, I'm using any other value. Usually the one that we use is this one. We're going to use this thing here. It's not the y-axis. Whatever the y value is here, this is the one that we use. Whatever the x value is here, that's the value that we use. And then when we get to an example like that one, I will show you. In this case, because that one is not going to work, I'm going to use this one. Let's use 10, or we can use 30. Let's use 30. And then when x is 30, what is going to be y? You type this in your calculator. What is y? It's 8.66. Huh? So you say you have 8.66. Okay, come here. And then you come and say, okay, when x is 30, you have 8.66. So this is 4, this is 8. 8.66 is going to be somewhere here. And then from there onwards, you are going to connect these two lines. You're going to connect these two dots. The red one, then this is going to be a line of best fit. Yes. Yeah, if you check, yeah, what is important, remember guys, for you to be able to draw a straight line, so you need 2 points. Okay? You can't draw a straight line if you have 1 point, because a straight line, so like it can go anywhere. No? So you just need 2 points. And then how to get the other point, you use the equation. On the equation, you use any other point, so that whenever what you need is I need to connect these 2 points because these black points, they don't have to be on the line. They don't have to be on the line. What is important is the mean point and the other point that you got from the equation of the regression line. Any other point that you got from the regression line, it doesn't matter. You can use that one from those 2 points. And then you can then do this one while our speaker gets ready. Scan. You have to listen to our speaker. Okay.